Greetings and welcome to Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life, and in this video we're going to take a look at another fabulous red heart pattern, the Tweedle Doo Knit Blanket. Now, Tweedle Doo is knit in Red Heart Super Saver, 3 balls of your main color, we used grenadine, and you're going to need 4 balls of Red Heart Super Saver stripes, which gives that really cool color changing texture. You're going to need size US 10 or 6mm circular knitting needles, 36 inches long, or size needed to obtain gauge. Hey, have you guys ever tried slip stitch knitting before? Because if you haven't, this is a terrific project on which to learn. So click on the links below to download the free pattern, like and subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. And you'll also find links to all our social media outlets. If you want to show us your project while you're working on it, just use the hashtag Yarnspirations. So let's get started on this fabulous throw. All right, I have cast on my swatch. You are going to cast on 147 stitches. I, of course, have made a smaller one. And the first instruction tells you working back and forth across needle and rows. Don't get confused by the fact that you have a circular needle. You have that so that you can accommodate the large number of stitches. Knit 4 rows, which is garter stitch, noting that the first row is the wrong side. So here is my 4 completed rows of garter stitch. Now it says next row, noting that it's a wrong side, knit increasing 10 stitches evenly across. Now, I am not going to do 10, I'm going to do 4 because my piece is smaller. But you're going to use a knit front and back increase. And the first thing I want to point out is you don't want to increase in the borders just because it's pretty obvious and I don't care to have it there. But I am going to increase in my first stitch after the border. So to make a knit front and back increase in garter stitch, you're going to knit in the front of the stitch like you normally would, but do not push it off the left-hand needle. Now go ahead and knit in the back of that same stitch and now push it off the left-hand needle. And we have turned 1 stitch into 2. Okay, I'm coming up to the stitch where I want the increase. I'm going to knit in the front of the stitch. As I always do not push it off the left-hand needle. Knit into the back leg of that same stitch and now push it off the left-hand needle. And this is called a knit front and back increase. I'm just putting a few stitches in between my increases, and once again you'll have a bigger swatch. You'll spread them out much farther than I did. Knit in the front, don't push it off, knit in the back, push it off. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and then we're going to look at the first row of the pattern stitching. Okay, we're on the first row, which is a right side row. First thing we're going to do, we're still working in color A, is knit 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now here comes an abbreviation you may not have seen yet. It's SL1PWYIB. And all that means is slip next stitch purlwise with yarn held in back of work. Now because I'm doing garter stitch, my yarn is already in the back of the work, so that's really super easy. And we're going to slip 1 purlwise. So to slip a stitch, you're going to move it from the left-hand needle to the right-hand needle without doing anything to it. But because I want to slip it purlwise, I'm going to slip it as if I was going to make a purl stitch. So my yarn's already in the back of the work. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back. Knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back. So I'm just going boop and moving it from the left to the right, inserting my right hand needle tip as if I was going to make a purl stitch. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back. Now let's talk about this for one little bit. You are bringing it behind the slipped stitch. You want to watch your gauge. If you pull it super, super tight, your work is going to crunch up widthwise, which you do not want. But you don't want to make it so loose that it catches on things or makes the stitch look wobbly. So I try to just bring it across the back in a natural. There's my slip, 1, 2, 3. Can't count anymore. 1, 2. And we've repeated that across to the last 5 stitches. We're going to knit 5. So what I was saying was I like to sort of keep a natural grip on my yarn and just let it go behind the slip stitch. But once again, don't pull super tight and don't worry that you have to like leave a big loop. All right, so that's the end of the first row. For the second row, we're still in A, which is our solid color. We're going to knit 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it says slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, so it ends with an F instead of a B. So my yarn is in the back because I've been working in the knit stitch, so I have to bring it forward, slip my stitch purlwise, so remember, slip it as if to purl, and then my next stitches are knit 3, so I have to get that yarn back to the back of the work. 1, 2, 3. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, get it back. Now notice it's going between the needles, not over the needle. I'm not trying to make a yarn over here. I'm just trying to get the yarn to be where I need it to be. So my last repeat is slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and there will be 5 stitches remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to knit those 5 stitches. On the third row, we're going to introduce the B color. Now, it tells us under notes that when changing colors, do not break yarn, carry yarn not in use loosely up the side of the work. So we're going to leave the A color attached right where it is. We're just going to leave that to hang out. And I'm going to attach the B color by pulling up a fold 4 to 6 inches in from the end. I'm going to knit my first stitch with that fold, and then I'm just going to leave those tails hanging. I can weave them in later. There's no real reason that you would have to tie a knot. So with B, knit 6. So there's 1. Now let me make sure I am knitting with my working yarn and not my tail yarn. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back, knit 3. So there's my slip 1 purlwise and the yarn's already in the back, knit 3, just letting that yarn track across the back of the slit stitch at the gauge that it wants to. I'm not pulling and I'm not making it super loose. It's easier to see here because it's in 2 colors. All right, slip 1 purlwise, knit 3 with yarn in back, slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back, knit 3. We're going to repeat that across to the last 7 stitches, and when we get to the last 7 stitches, we're going to slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back and knit 6. So here we are coming up to the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip 1 purlwise with yarn in back. Whoops. knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you can see, now that we've gotten to the 2-color part of this adventure, you can see that you have 2 different colors on your needle at the same time, even though you're only knitting with 1 color at a time, which is one of the things that makes slip stitch knitting so very much fun. For the 4th row, we're still in B. We're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it says slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, knit 3. Let me get my cable out of the way here. So we're going to slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front. So we have to get the yarn to the front and slip it purlwise and get that yarn back in the back. So I can knit my next 3 stitches. Now I hope you're noticing that these slipped stitches are a different color. So as you get going with this pattern, on your alternate rows, it's easier to see which ones you have to slip because they're calling out to you that they are a different color. So we're going to repeat this across until we get to the last 7 stitches, and then we're going to slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front and knit 6, and these 4 rows form the pattern. So you're going to continue in pattern until the blanket measures approximately 45 inches or 114.5 centimeters, ending on a 4th row, at which point you can break off the B color. Then with A, you're going to knit and you're going to decrease 10 stitches evenly across the row. So you're going to decrease basically in the same place that we put those increases, so that you have the same number of stitches in the second border as you had in the first border. I just wanted to give you a little peek at what the stitch pattern looks like close up now that I've gotten a few more rows on the swatch. One thing I want you to notice is you're just getting this nice garter stitch ridge that alternates color on your borders. This is the right side of the work, obviously. And we're seeing our slip stitches. And you can see how on the stripes the color changes happen all by themselves. As you just keep knitting with the stripes yarn, it changes color all on its own. So that's a pretty cool thing to have happen. I wanted to show you the back. This is what the back looks like. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is after you have completed the pattern, you've gotten it to the length specified in the pattern, or the length that you want, you're going to break off the B color, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm just cut it off with a 4 to 6 inch tail, so you can weave that in. And then it says with A, knit decreasing 10 stitches evenly across the row. So the reason we're doing this is we want to have the same number of stitches on the second border as we did at the first border. So all I'm going to do to make this decrease, I'm just going to use a knit 2 together decrease. Once again, I want to stay out of the borders. I don't want to have my increases or decreases in the border just because it's not attractive. So I'm just going to knit 2 together. So I'm going to put my right hand needle through the front loop of both stitches at the same time and knit them off as 1. Be easier to see if I don't catch a slip. And again, you will have more stitches between your decreases than I do just because I have a smaller swatch. Then you're going to knit 4 more rows and cast off. All you have to do after that is weave in your couple of ends, and you're not going to have that many because we let our working yard trail up the side. So thank you so much for joining us here for the Tweedle Doo Knit Blanket, another fabulous red heart pattern here on Yarnspirations. I'm Mary Beth Temple for Hooked for Life. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting, crocheting, and other yarny stuff. Follow us on all the applicable social medias, and we have that link below. And while you're working on this or other fabulous projects, tag us with hashtag Yarnspirations so we can see what you're working on. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.